Denovic here again, my fellow wingers, and welcome back to the Inswinger. And yes, it's another 2 weeks break from club football as we're now in the middle of another round of international friendlies and World Cup qualifiers. And as fun as that is, alright, cool, it's not. So in the meantime, let's look at the most exciting and crazy league in world football season so far, the Premier League. So we'll climb up the Premier League table and see what each team has been up to 11 games into the season. Let's go. 20th, Norwich City, 5 points. At the bottom of the table, we have the usual pre-season suspect who most thought would occupy that spot, Norwich City. The Canaries lost 8 of their 11 matches so far, with their only win coming in their last match with a 2-1 win over Brentford. And as poor as they are, Norwich must did count these points as Brentford hadn't beaten them since 2017. But I guess what's surprising is that Norwich decided to part ways with Daniel Farke after the win, who is brilliant in the championship but is lost in the top flight. It's just weird that it really took a win for them to see that. 19th, Newcastle United, 5 points. Also on 5 points is the richest club in the world, Newcastle United, who is the only team yet to win a match in the league this season. Surely, the new owners must shake up watching the league's second worst defense for the past few weeks, with the fear of their plans moving from challenging for European spots in the Prem to winning the championship to get back to the Prem. Anyway, the Magpies appointed Eddie Howe as the new head coach to oversee the rebuild, but any master plan he's going to implement, he's kinda gonna have to do it fast. 18th, Burnley, 8 points. Oh Burnley, the league's very own horde of warriors are on 8 points, which is surely deserving of their relegation status so far. However, new signing Maxwell Carney has settled in nicely since his debut for the club with 4 goals and the provision of a new attacking approach for the Clarets, who were often viewed as being one-dimensional going forward. They did well last time out with a 1-1 draw away at Chelsea, and knowing them, I would not be too worried about them being in the relegation zone at this point, because Sean Dyche and Fahim Warrior them are going to survive. They always survive. 17th, Watford, 10 points. The Hornets are 2 points above the drop zone on 10 points, and only time will tell if Claudio Ranieri will be the next in line of managers to be sent home packing by the ruthless owners of Watford. Time? No sir, them not have that to give. Since 2017, the club has had 7 managers with 2 caretaker managers in the mix, and that in my opinion may be the reason for the club's lack of stability and struggles with consistency. They have lost 4 of the last 6 games, and I don't foresee it getting better, with Ranieri unable to get the best out of the squad so far. But make we see though. 16th, Aston Villa, 10 points. Also with 10 points is Aston Villa, who recently sacked Dean Smith after a disappointing start to the season, with Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard being appointed to take the reins at Villa Park after the break. Villa fans must be frustrated given the excellent business that was done in the summer to bolster the squad, especially with Emi Buendia yet to put up consistent performances, and more so with Leon Bailey, who when on the field is nothing short of brilliant, but is unable to get a proper run of matches due to injuries. But let's see if the former Rangers boss can get things right at Villa. 15th, Leeds United, 11 points. Another team performing below expectations is Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United, who have only picked up 11 points from their first 11 games. 3 times they have drawn or lost after taking the lead this season, which shows their inability to take control of games, and the injury to Patrick Bamford has proved to be costly to their attacking play. The brightest spark so far, Rafinha, is showing that he has possibly outgrown the Whites, and surely a top 6 move must be on the cards in the near future. Hopefully, Leeds will soon rediscover the form that they displayed and impressed us with last season. 14th, Brentford, 12 points. In 14th is the newly promoted Brentford, who made a spectacular start to the season, but have endured some poor form in their most recent fixtures, winning just 1 of their last 6 games in the league, which includes 4 defeats on the bounce. The Bees opened the campaign with a sensational 2-0 win over Arsenal, mixed with wins over Wolves and West Ham, and a draw with Liverpool, but this now must be leaving Thomas Frank needing more from his players, especially the talismanic Ivan Toney, Otherwise, this downward motion down the table now go stop. 13th, Southampton, 14 points. The Saints are among the teams seeing an upturn in form recently, winning 3 and drawing 1 of their last 4 games, taking them up the table into 13th, as those 10 points were a much needed addition to the 4 points they picked up out of a possible 21 to kick off the campaign. Former Chelsea Academy Player of the Year Tino Livramento and current Chelsea loanee Armando Broja have both shown the potential to take their game to the next level under Ralph Hasenhuttl so far, but let's see how far up the table the Austrian can push his players. 12. Leicester City, 15 points. Also struggling for consistency is Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City, who find themselves in the bottom half of the table on 15 points. At times, it would appear that Rodgers is beginning to get the best out of the Foxes, until the occasional poor performance, which is becoming common. Their form in Europe has also been mixed, which makes you think the additional games may be taking a toll on the squad. They surely must improve defensively as well, with 2 clean sheets in all competitions so far being the root of their struggles. 11th, Everton, 15 points. Everton also find themselves in a bad spell at the moment with no wins in their last 5 league games, which includes 3 defeats. The Toffees started the season well under Rafa Benitez, winning 4 of the first 5 games and drawing 1, but with an untimely injury to Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Solomon Rondon unable to deputize efficiently, Everton are now also in the lower half of the league, a team of which much was expected. Demarai Gray and Andros Townsend has been standout players so far, but the rest of the squad needs to improve in coming games. 10. Crystal Palace, 15 points. Things at Crystal Palace seem to be falling into place under Patrick Vieira after a rocky start with only 1 win and 3 defeats from the first 5 games. However, they have been unbeaten in the last 6 games with 2-0 wins over both Manchester United and Wolves being the picks of that run. Wilfred Zaha continues to terrorize defences, Anson Edward is adjusting nicely, and Conor Gallagher, this man a baller. And Chelsea must now see that they must play their cards right at the end of the season to keep yet another loanee who has the makings of a future star in the Prem. 9th, Tottenham Hotspurs, 16 points. Oh Spurs, England's favourite battlers, has somehow managed to make the season so far harder than it had to be, notably by making one of the league's greatest ever strikers drag himself across the pitch with no drive or motivation due to a failed summer move to Man City, and by sacking one of the best managers in the league over the past 3 seasons, prematurely in my humble opinion. But hear what, they have gotten in a world-class coach who isn't much different from the last world-class coach they sacked, but let's see if Antonio Conte works. And let's see if Hurricane works. Again. Let's see. 8th, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Most people thought that with Nuno Espirito Santo's departure, the Wolves project was starting to fall apart. And rightly so, after they lost 4 of the first 5 games of the season. But manager Bruno Lage had somehow managed to turn things around with 4 victories in his last 6 games, losing only 1. And now it looks like the project is back on. Wolves now sit 8th in the league. New signing Hwang Hee-chan has hit the ground running, and the whole world was delighted to see Raul Jimenez back from a horrific injury, doing what he does best, putting the ball in the net. 7th, Brighton and Hove Albion, 17 points. In 7th place in the league, we have the football hipsters team in England, Brighton, on 17 points. Their excellent start to the season has them in the top half after winning 4 of the first 5 league games, but a significant dip in form has them not picking up a win in the last 6, which includes 5 drawn matches. An impressive 2-all draw with Liverpool was in the mix of an otherwise underwhelming stretch of results. But if Graham Potter and the Seagulls can go back to playing the exciting, fluid football we saw early on, we may have a surprise package on our hands. 6th, Manchester United, 17 points. Manchester United started the campaign strong after a just as impressive summer transfer window by winning 4 of the first 5 games, drawing 1, but up until game week 11 lost 4 of the last 6, which includes humiliating losses to Leicester, Liverpool and Man City. With several managerial changes taking place in the league, many United fans are calling for one of their own, but with resistance from a few who believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still the man to lead the Red Devils forward. With a modern-day great in Cristiano Ronaldo and many other stars at his disposal, the Norwegian surely must approach the season differently after the break. 5th, Arsenal, 20 points. Could this be it? Could this be the results of the brilliant tactical mind that Mikel Arteta was talked up as being before taking over Arsenal? Well, if not, it has looked really good recently for the Gunners. After losing the first 3 matches of the season, Arsenal hasn't lost a match since. That's 6 wins and 2 draws out of 8. The climb has been from relegation to the top 5, the integration of the new signings has been excellent, and the youngsters, most notably Emile Smith-Rowe, are playing some wicked ball. Arteta will definitely have a lot to maintain after the break. 4th, Liverpool, 22 points. Liverpool has faltered in recent weeks after putting on some impressive performances so far in the campaign, and as such, Jurgen Klopp and the Reds will have some things to work on in an attempt of finding back their best form. There has been an air of complacency in a few of Liverpool's performances, which has resulted in an inability to see out games from leading positions. But with their first defeat of the season coming in their last game versus West Ham being a wake-up call, and the league's best player right now, Mo Salah, showing no signs of slowing down, Newcastle go on after the break. 3rd, West Ham United, 23 points. Who would have thought? West Ham, 3rd in the league. It's still early days however, but that should not take away from what the Hammers have achieved so far. The most informed team at the present time in the league based on points per game. They have taken 15 from their last 18. The impressive performances being put forward from West Ham have left many impressed with the job David Moyes has done over the past 3 seasons. And with the assembly of a squad which has navigated the league and European competition very well so far, Hammers fans will not be wrong for eyeing a Champions League spot this season. 2nd, Manchester City, 23 points. The current champions of England find themselves in 2nd place, 3 points off the top after 11 games. And while not a bad position to be in, Manchester City had hit some bumps along the way which has kept them from the top so far. And it seems some sides still have City ticket, as Palace left the Etihad with all 3 points this season, after leaving with 1 point last season. But still, I have learned 2 things over the past 4 seasons. Don't count out Pep Guardiola and don't count out Manchester City. A big manager with big players that win big games. That's how trophies are won. 1st, Chelsea, 26 points. And in top spot we have the current European champions Chelsea, and rightly so. They have won 8 out of their 11 games, losing only once to Man City. Their goals have come from all over the pitch, with only Liverpool scoring more. And they have been impeccable defensively, conceding only 4 goals and keeping 7 clean sheets so far, the league's best numbers. Many would back Thomas Tuchel and the Blues to go all the way this season, and the accompanying stats show that they are justified in doing so. The league at this point is as competitive as it gets, with a number of challengers to pick from, but as it stands, Chelsea look like the real deal. And there you have it, the Inswinger's update on the Premier League season so far. I hope you enjoyed that one, and remember to like the video and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the Inswinger for more football content. See you soon.